Hello and welcome back. And for my new viewers just popping in, again, I'm your host, Joanne. I like to introduce my guest for today. I'm really excited to have her here. She's amazing. She's intuitive. She's knowledgeable. Oh my God, she's everything. And I'm so grateful that I had an opportunity to chat with her, to have her on the show today. So let's introduce Gabriella. And Gabriella, she is a medical intuitive, and also, I have my notes here. Let me just get it right. She's the CEO and founder at Alive Health Solutions. Welcome, Gabriella. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Just for the audience, let them know your full name, please.
Sure. It's Gabriella Michaliszyn, which is Ukrainian for Michelson.
I knew I was not going to pronounce that correctly. Yes. So let's start off by me asking, so the viewers can know, what is a medical intuitive?
So a medical intuitive is someone who is able to use intuition to find out what is wrong with someone as far as their health. So what is holding them back? What is causing illness?
Now, would it be similar to like a doctor in reference to like a medical intuitive?
Well, a doctor typically uses analytical skills to do this, and I use intuitive skills. So it's kind of a little bit more on the psychic part because you can't see what I'm doing, and I'm taking a reading of your body, basically.
Interesting. Now, I know when you and I worked together prior to you coming on my show, you did what's called muscle testing to see about certain things that was going on. After I finally figured out what it is when you explained it, could you explain what muscle testing is?
Yes. Muscle testing, which is a horrible name for it, but that's the name they chose. It's also known as applied kinesiology or muscle response testing, which is actually more of an accurate depiction, but less used. It is a way to get a yes or no response from your body, where if you can either do something you consciously know or something your subconscious would know. So your subconscious knows everything about the health of your body. It is completely in charge. It knows what nutrients you have. It knows what toxins are there. It knows what pathogens you're fighting. It knows what your organs need. Basically anything about your health, your body knows. Your subconscious knows. But we don't consciously need to know, thankfully, because how fast should our heart be beating? How do we heal this, injury, things like that. But your body knows. So muscle testing is a way to get that information from the subconscious out where you can find out what it is. And it's done with a yes/no question or true/false statement. So for an example, let's see. Am I tired because I need more sleep? And you could find out if that's the cause. Another cause could be, am I tired because my thyroid isn't working properly? That's another common cause of why you would be tired. So the method that I learned first is a simple method you can do yourself, and you make 2 rings with your fingers. You put them together so you're not touching, and the motion, you're going to be pulling it apart. So you hold your fingers tight enough so it doesn't break loose, but not like a clamp. So then you say your statement, and it's good to get a baseline statement. So I will say my name is Gabriella, and then I'll say my name is John. And I'm doing the same exact thing with my hands, but because one is a true statement and one is a false statement, my body does different things. And it sounds like woo-woo, I guess, but it's actually very scientific, which is important to me because I tend to be more analytical. I used to be a computer programmer.
Okay, yes, okay.
So in order to trust what I was doing, I did more research about what is actually going on. And it works on the same principle that there have been studies that show you have more strength if you're positive. And the studies have been done with sports. If you're positive and you're mentally believe you can do something, you have 10 to 15% more strength than if you doubt, if you're negative. So it's that difference in strength that you can tap into and find out. With the positive answer, you're stronger, and the negative answer, you lose a little bit, which shows up in the fingers. Now, some people, especially men, if you have strong hands, you might need to use your middle finger or ring finger to get that distinction to show up. Or there are other methods, and one of them is actually a pendulum.
So, you were reading my mind. I was going to just ask about a pendulum.
Yes, the pendulum works in the same principle as muscle testing. And and you can say either show me a yes. A lot of people say show me a yes. And most of the time, for most people, it will go forward and backward, but some people will get a different angle. It's just what's important is to get what your yes is. And then show me a no. And you're not moving your hands consciously. Your subconscious has little tiny movements that will make it do something different. So that interesting.
So now one can actually apply this process on themselves first before actually, let's say, coming to you to determine whether or not there's something going on that they need to come to you?
It certainly can.
Mm-hmm.
One thing with muscle testing, the subconscious is very, very literal. So you have to just be a little bit careful of the wording to make sure that you're saying what you actually are intending to say.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So it's a fabulous technique because, again, from my point of view, it bypasses or eliminates the need to, let's say, running to the medical doctor. And if there is something going on, with their bodies, they can connect with you in reference to the medical intuitive portion of it all to get a better understanding to what actually is going on.
Yes. And one key with what we're going to be talking about is you can use muscle testing with supplements. So I have an essential oil, eucalyptus, and I can either open it and smell it, put it on my wrist, or if I've used it before, my body knows what it is. So I can say, I can use my pendulum. Is it optimal for me to use eucalyptus oil? And for me, that's a yes. So you can use that for supplements. You can ask, is it optimal to take one supplement, one tablet? So you can go through a list of potential vitamins and supplements and even foods.
Mm-hmm.
Is it optimal for me to eat this? Is it harmful for me to eat this?
That's a lot. That's a lot of going within and really checking in.
It is, and it's very powerful.
Yes. Now, from your professional point of view, would you suggest somebody going about this first prior to coming to see you, or would you recommend they come to see you, find out what's going on, and then start going into this a little more deeply for themselves? Which one is recommended?
It depends on their level of comfort. If muscle testing works for them right away and they know they're confident in how to word the questions and statements, that's how I did it. That's how I started. I literally found out about muscle testing on a website that didn't believe in muscle testing.
Oh, that's interesting.
But they described how to do it, and they said 30% of chiropractors use it in their practice, and it can't possibly work. And so since they described how to do it, I said, well, I know chiropractors, and I know how smart they are. 30% would not be using this if there was no validity to it. I'm going to try it. So I tried it. It worked for me perfectly. I am very analytical, so I can tease through how to figure out how to word the questions, and that's what I've been doing. So because of my personality and where I come from, I did not have help with it, but a lot of people absolutely would want help. And if there's complex things going on with their body, it can take a lot of research to even know what questions to ask. So that's where
Now, before we take a commercial break, just out of curiosity, would you happen to, or if not, would you be able to like write out a list of general questions that some people may want to ask themselves in this space that they may be in, trying to figure out what's going on with them? Like, do you have something available, or would that be something you would actually write out for them?
I don't have anything available right now. On my website, I have a few pieces of information. One of them is for gluten intolerance, which is where I started my health journey. But as far as I don't right now, I don't have any like general questions.
Okay, maybe something that you might decide to draw up down the road.
Yes, and I do plan to teach how to do this. And I have a whole system of healing, and that includes what to ask, where to go from there, and how to remedy the situation.
Awesome, awesome. So again, before we take a commercial break, what I'd like you to do is just share with the viewers your contact information. So should they need to reach you, they can.
Sure. My website is alivehealthsolutions.com. And my email address is gem, G-E-M, at alivehealthsolutions.com.
Awesome. And there should be a flyer with that so the viewers can definitely see it as well. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to have more with Gabriella. So make sure you come back and watch. We'll be right back.